Hi there, my friends. It's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. Welcome into another edition of Teach Me Tuesday. Today, I'm actually going to share with you a couple of techniques on one card. So I'm going to give you a painter's tape technique and a reverse stamping technique, which we've done that one before. I don't think we've done painter's tape before, though. So that's going to be our two techniques for this week's card. I actually was making tacos for Taco Tuesday tonight and saw the painter's tape on the counter, and it reminded me of a demo that one of our team members did years ago now. So I thought it would be a good time to redo this technique with a new card and new products. So I'm using Basic Black, Crumb Cake, Whisper White, and Pool Party for my cardstock. I'm also using Memento Black, Pool Party, and Crumb Cake ink for this card. All right, so the first step, I just folded in half a 5.5 by 8.5 inch card base for my card. I would normally put some white paper in here 4 by 5 1/4 to have something to write on such dark cardstock. It's kind of important to have an inside. We're going to set that aside for now. I also have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of crumb cake. That's just a layer as well, so I'm going to set that aside. I have a 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of Whisper White, and that is going to be where we're going to do some stamping, so I'll keep that there. And then the last piece is the 1 inch by 4 inch piece of Pool Party. So first up, we're going to grab some crumb cake ink. And I'm going to grab a piece of painter's tape. And I'm going to do it slightly smaller than the piece of cardstock that I want to use. I don't want it to go all the way across necessarily. And I'm going to take the tape and I'm going to actually lay it down onto the ink pad. And basically just kind of rub it so that the ink gets on there. Okay, and then I'll pull that off, and then I'm going to carefully place that across the bottom here. And I'm just going to go ahead and lightly push that onto the cardstock and then gently pull it back. Whoop, a little bit too much pressure, and I apparently missed that side, but no worries. I'm going to go ahead and grab a little more ink here, and I can fill that in. I'm going to do this way. I don't want that jagged edge, so I'm just going to do that. And then gently lift it, and there we go. So I filled that in. I'm going to throw that piece of painter's tape out. I'm going to close my crumb cake. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab Pool Party. And I'm going to tear off another piece, again, smaller than what I really need. And I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And then I'm going to go ahead and place that down just above the crumb cake. And I'm going to go ahead and just transfer that. And then gently pull it off. I keep missing that edge, so I can fix that again too. Actually, I think I want like the jagged edge on that side. So I'm going to do it this way. And I'm going to land it right there. There we go. And I'll pull that off. There. I actually really like that kind of inconsistent look that's going on there. If you wanted it to be more consistent ink all the way across, you could put the painter's tape on and kind of burnish it with your cardstock or your bone folder, scrap piece of cardstock or bone folder, and then that would be more consistent ink all the way across. But I kind of like that sort of distressed textured look that does. So I'm going to go ahead and use some Painted Poppies. This is one of the new stamp sets from the spring mini catalog, and I'm also going to use the Coordinating Peaceful Moments greeting set, because this one doesn't have any greetings. So I'm going to add these in for my greetings. So first up, I'm going to go ahead and grab, oh, actually I already pulled it out. Silly me. I'm going to grab this little poppy image here. So that was technique number 1. Now we're going to do some stamping, and then I will show you technique number 2 as part of that. So I'm inking this up with the Memento Black, and this works really well. This background technique works really well with line art and like a really dark ink. So I'm using basic black, and I'm going to stamp this flower here. Whoops, it's a little close to the base of my camera. And then I'm going to do another one slightly lower and right next to it, like that. And then I'm going to take my silicone craft sheet, and I'm going to actually stamp a third flower on here, like that. And then I'm going to actually flip this over. And you can kind of, I don't know if you can see through it. Oh, you can see my flower image on there. You can kind of see through it. So I'm going to go ahead and position that here. And then I'm going to burnish it basically with my fingers to transfer it. And what that's doing is it's creating a reversed image. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Pull this off. And so you can see, there it is. So these two flowers, this little bud goes that way, and I didn't want a third one going the same way, so that's why I did the reverse image there. So that's the stamping part, other than our thank you, which is the sentiment I'm using. I'm just going to use the thank you from the Peaceful Moments, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that kind of in the middle, maybe slightly to the right, like that. And then I'm going to cover my ink. I'm going to go ahead and do a banner end down here. Like that. And I'm going to use a little bit of Whisper White Baker's Twine. And I'm going to wrap this around the bottom here a couple times. Just want a little bit of texture on here. I'll do a couple times, and then I'll tie in a knot, and then I'm going to make a bow. I know, Baker's Twine and bows can be a little bit challenging, but I think it will look cute with a little bow. It's kind of masculine colors a little bit, so maybe we'll add some girliness with the bow. Not that you'd have to. You could do a knot too with some linen thread, and that would make it stay masculine if you wanted a more masculine vibe. I just like bows. I know all of you in my classes know that and hate that I like bows, but I just think it adds a little something. All right, so there's that piece. So you can probably see that this is coming together. Next up, we're going to go ahead and just attach this layer, which again was 3 3/4 by 5, to our 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of crumb cake. Layer that on there. And then this is going to get layered onto our card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when the piece of paper is folded in half. The original piece was 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. Attach that. And then I want to attach this with some dimension. Just 1, because there's twine on the back, and 2, just because I think it needs a little bit of something. I was looking to see if I have any. I'll just use my leftovers here. 1, 2. And that's a baby. Those are pumpkins. Here we go. Here's another one. Alright, and then we'll do a couple of these. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and peel the backings off. And I'm going to attach this down here. Now, I stamped that one a little too high, but I think if I move it up there, it's going to look really weird down there. Although, maybe I could put some pattern paper there. Let's see if I have any pattern paper that I could use. I'm just going to look in this. This is the, actually no it's not, I lied. This is the wrong thing. This is not what I thought it was. I wanted the DSP sampler pack for new demonstrators. Here we go. Let's see. So if you join Stampin' Up! During Celebration, this is one of the things you get in your card kit. You get, or in your starter kit rather, you get a DSP sampler pack of some of our new designer series paper from the new catalog. It's 48 sheets, I believe, and offers a variety of patterns. I'm just looking to see, I think there's one that's kind of, oh, I know which one it is. It's in the Hawaiian stuff, so maybe it's, oh, I might have used it all for class this weekend. Oh, bummer. I think, though, I might have some of that. Sorry, we're improvising a little bit just because I messed that up. But let me find. Okay, let me find this. So we'll get a sneak peek of some of this. I'm looking for just like a crumb cake pattern. Isn't this the cutest? I love the little Volkswagen station wagons. Ah, oh, it's kind of soft suede. It's a little bit darker. It looks kind of wood-ish. It might work. I think I might have to go with it. Unless I find something else that's better, which I don't think so. No. Let's try this. So I'm going to do, it looks like maybe 1 inch. And then by 3 3/4, because that's the length of the white cardstock. So then I'm just going to tuck this under here, doing a little improvisation like that. Oh, that looks kind of good. That works. I can make that work. It's a little bit darker than I had wanted, but it's still a neutral, so it works. I'm going to go ahead and stick that here. And then I rectified my floating flower that was up here. And then last but not least, I'm going to add a little bit of bling. So I'm going to take the small rhinestones and I'm just going to put one of each of those in the flower, like that. And there you go, the finished product. I'll show you the original too. I originally didn't want to show it to you because it's kind of wonky, but there you can see what I had originally done. So there was no paper at the bottom, but I actually kind of like that. I think it's kind of cool. It's more color blocking, which is nice. So there you go, 2 different versions, same card. Easy peasy using that painter's tape technique. What's really great is you can get the painter's tape in all sorts of sizes, so you could vary what size you use on a card. You could even use multiple sizes on a card if you wanted to. So it gives you lots of versatility with this technique. So I'm so glad you joined me today. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new here. I'd love to see you each and every week when I do a new Teach Me Tuesday video. It means the world to me when you do subscribe, so go ahead and hit that big red button. And until next time, happy stamping. Bye.